myself organised. Good evening everyone and welcome to Sugar and Crumbs. My name's Tracey Mann from Tracey Mann Cakes, and this evening I am sat down, which is good news for me immediately, and we're going to be doing some painting this evening. So it's a nice calm evening because, as most of you know, at the moment I am in a whirl of wedding cakes. I can't describe it as anything else other than a tornado of wedding cakes, and it means that I'm working every hour under the sun at the moment on my feet standing. So I thought, you know what, if I'm doing a live tonight, I'm going to sit down and do it. So I'm going to do a painting one tonight. We're going to be having a look at painting a golden wedding anniversary themed cake, or board I should say. I'm not doing cake tonight, I'm painting a board. Oh good, Nikki's on, fantastic, good evening. I'm on my own. No Kelly tonight, no Morella. I am completely on my own this evening, so I'm having a nice calm evening because, honest to God, if anything else goes wrong today, I think I may just walk out the door. I've had a computer breakdown. And I've been doing wedding cakes. Thank you very much, Molly, for that lovely comment. Most of you will have seen my wedding cakes on Instagram, or if not, on Sugar and Crumbs. I have posted 2 out of 3, I think, this week. So, or last week. This week we've got a house, and I can only describe it as a house, literally. Not a wedding cake, mind you. It is a house cake. It's huge, and which Kelly's helping me paint, thank goodness. And also we have another wedding. Cupcake bouquets, and you name it, it keeps going. And then we're in another load next week, so it's a cycle of weddings. So if anybody's in the wedding industry at the moment, you have my full sympathy. Although the only thing I would say at the moment, thank goodness it's not too hot, because otherwise I would be having a meltdown more than I'm having at the moment. So my computer has broken down today, so I'm still smiling, but I've spent half the day in the Apple store, so I am, yes, having a wonderful day. But anyway, everything seems to be working on here at the moment, so we've managed to get some stability with that side of the tech, so that's okay. For anyone who is signing up for my new course, is it this side? Yes, it is. Here we go, the ice cream bowl. That is my new course. Now it's meant to be coming out on Friday. Potentially it's going to have to be delayed till Monday because I've now got to refilm the last 5 bits of the lesson because they've all been corrupted. What's the word you don't want to hear when you're in when you're in an Apple store, is it? Just to let you know your files are corrupted. I thought, oh my God, do you realise this course is coming out on Friday? I can't have that. So I've uploaded half of it, if not 3/4, and the remaining part I may have to film again. So there may be a slight delay there, but if anyone is interested in booking the ice cream novelty cake class, then you need to go here, which is a different website to my normal one. It's traceymancakeschool.co.uk, and it's going to be on offer until Monday because that's when I plan to let the class material out. I did say Friday, but I'm going to have to do some extra filming, some more work to get this sorted. I can see the videos, but the videos are running in very slow motion. So an 18-second video is currently running at 1 minute 30. So that's just the last section. Of course it is, just as I'm sort of about to get to the finish line on something. So if you would like to book the ice cream class, there it is, it's behind me. It costs £20. It's going to go up to £30 on Tuesday next week. So if you want to book that, then go to the website address below, traceymancakeschool.co.uk. Anyone who's booked it, there you go, Sharon's booked it. You haven't had your link yet, so you're going to be getting your, if you've already got Teachable, which is my place where I hold some of my classes, it will get added to your account. Now if you go into there and it's still not there, that's because I haven't done it yet, because I need to finish the course material and get over this minor inconvenience, she says, still smiling, of corrupted files. What joy that is. So I will be sorting that out. So yes, what a nightmare. It is literally the last 5 sort of video bits of the class. So yeah, I've got to backtrack and just refilm it. But I'm taking it well, as you can see. I'm not walking around going no, and well I am, but not on here. I'm still pretending everything is okay, so it's all fine. Anyway, we're going to do some painting tonight, so nice and calm, nothing too complicated. We're going to be, I've actually got, this is actually for a cake this week, it's actually for Morella, so I couldn't have her in tonight because otherwise she'd be saying to me, no, not like that, like this. Or she wouldn't say that to me. Oh, bless her, she wouldn't. But I thought, I can't have her here tonight. She'll put me off. So if she's watching, she'll then go, what are you on about? So I'm going to be doing the corners of a cake board tonight. So we've got a 12-inch square, huge cake. She's got a big family celebration. So it's her in-laws that are celebrating. And we're going to be doing the edge of the cake board all the way around. Now I've already pre-covered it, but I only did that literally about half an hour ago. So I'm going to just now in a second imprint it all with everything, and we're going to paint it with the Wonder Dusts, the ones that I keep wanting to call everything but Wonder Dusts. Let's take this down, we know where I am. Okay, and what's that say? Going through it in the morning, yeah. So I've got 3 gold colours here. So we have got bright gold, sparkling gold. Clearly I like this one because there seems to be quite a lot missing from the pot, and deep rich gold as well. So we're going to have a little play in a minute and see what we come up with, and then we're going to just imprint it all around the board. We won't get a finished cake, but what we will get at the end of it is a lovely board. And then later in the week when the cake's all finished, because Morella wants to put some fresh flowers on it, I will get her to take a photograph, and then I will post it on Sugar and Crumbs, and you'll be able to see what it turns out like, if I like it. Not that I'm fussy, because I am very fussy about things. So we will wait and see what it's like, but I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. What else have I got to say? So we're going to do some cocoa butter painting. For those of you that haven't done any before, for those of you that are watching Sugar and Crumbs, I should say this actually. For those of you watching Sugar and Crumbs, I know loads of you now because you will comment. If you're sat at home watching and you haven't commented before, or you want to comment or ask a question, do say hello, because they are rather lovely. And Serena Lawson, I don't know if she's on tonight. Serena sent me, what did you send me today? She sent, it did make me laugh actually. She sent me a piece of, what's that stuff called? Non-slip matting, that's the word I'm looking for, non-slip matting. Because she's worried about my cakes falling off the turntables on the demonstrations, and I thought that was really sweet, and it did make me laugh. So Serena, thank you very much for the lovely non-slip matting that you sent me, and I will use it. So if she's on, or if she isn't on, someone let her know that I've thanked her, because I was yeah, I thought that was very sweet, so I'm very pleased with that. So yeah, I've got 3 shades of gold. Now Carol sent these to me, and I thought, right, what we'll do is we'll paint them first just on a little bit of sugar paste, see what we think, and then we'll do our imprint, we'll get that all done, and then we'll paint the whole thing together. And then obviously we're going to be throwing a few sprinkles at it as well, because we can. So we're going to do that as well. And what else have we got? So, oh, I've got this to show you. Kelly's not here. I have to say Kelly's not here this evening, but we do have our first little pot of Kelly sprinkles. So most of you will, I'm going to show you that up close. There you go. Most of you will know my daughter Kelly. Kelly is rather good at colour, to say the least, like as in amazing. She puts me to shame. And yes, she's going to have some sprinkle ranges now. So she's coming up with various colour combinations that we're going to use across lots of cakes. I think that's going to be fun, and on the cookies as well. So they've just started to appear now. Can't upload any at the moment though, can I? Because my computer is still not working. But it will be, hopefully soon. It's currently at home running an update. So I'm pretending it's not happening. You know what it's like when you've got a computer going and you can see it wearing, and you think, come on, how much longer is this update going to take? You know, 40 minutes, right, okay, I'll sit there and watch it. Yeah, 3 hours later. So so we'll leave that at home and not think about that, and have a lovely evening instead looking at Wonder Dusts and painting. So we're going to do that. So yes, Kelly's very good at her Kelly's better at colour than me. Who's just said that? Who said that? Tanya. Yeah, Kelly is definitely better at colour than me. And Serena is on here. Oh good, thank you Serena. I've got your parcel. I've just arrived at my unit because I've not been here all day because of my lovely trip to the Apple store, which I'm going to stop talking about now. Right, okay, I'm just moving down a little bit so I can get into this. Let's have a little look at setting up a cocoa butter system, and then we're going to look at the colours. Then we're going to map out our project, and then we're going to paint it. So there we go. Let us go down on here. Sorry, I just pressed that button there. Someone saw their first bubble tea shop. Very good. Yeah, that's where Kelly works. Why use cocoa butter compared to rejuvenator fluid, please? Right, we use cocoa butter because you can layer it, whereas rejuvenator fluid, you just tend to paint one matte colour. So the reason I use cocoa butter is for that reason and that reason alone. And yes, it does dry. It dries very quickly. Yeah, it's nice and cheap. Love it. Although, having said that, she said I might have to just do a run across the room because I forgot to pick up the cocoa butter. Hold on. Or if I did pick it up, I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, there's always one thing that happens on a live, doesn't there? Right? Oh dear. Where are we? Right. I'm now leaving you to look at my display while I run across the other side of the room and get my cocoa butter, which is over here somewhere. There we go. Right. I've obviously gone through so much of it that I've there we go. I've obviously gone through so much painting, you see. This is what it is. So cocoa butter, it looks like that. Little discs that you melt. And then you're going to mix them with dusting colour. So you can mix them with any dusting colour. So people tend to use dusting colours for things like paint it or dusting sugar flowers. Let's get that right. You can paint sugar flowers as well, but dusting sugar flowers, lots of things like that. And then you can also, so you can melt it down, but you need a heat source to do it because it's obviously a hard product at the moment. So we're going to have to melt it and keep it melted. That's the key. Using well, I'm going to use a chrome food warmer, but I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is a chrome food warmer. I've just put a brand new candle in. Now this has come off Amazon. We don't have this something that we sell. I don't think Carol sells it either. You will find, there we go, these on Amazon. If you put in chrome food warmer, let's get this thing to light. It's a brand new candle, so it might rebel. So that's our heat source. It's entirely up to you whether or not you use one of these or whether or not you use a bowl of boiling water, but you must be really careful. Obviously you've got to be careful with this as well, but you've got to be careful with the boiling water that you don't knock it over. Now the next thing I've got on here is a metal paint palette. Now metal, because it gets hot, and because it gets hot it's going to melt the cocoa butter, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. Right, so let's get this. Right, there we go. I'm reading your questions sort of as I'm looking because I don't have Kelly with me this evening, so bear with me. I'm going to leave that there and you'll see it melting. Right, what have we got here? Why did I struggle on my first go? Oh, I missed that. Hold on, it's gone off my screen now. Or just practice. Okay, I'm not sure what your struggle is, but I'm guessing it might be, I don't know, that you might have your paint too thick or too thin. That's usually quite an obvious one. So try and have a go at mixing. Try and just get a bit of sugar paste and just paint it. You don't have to overthink this. You don't have to do a massive project every time. You can literally just paint a cake board. You can paint a little bit of paste, see how it comes out. You can play around with it. You don't have to do absolutely loads. Right, somebody else just asked a question. I'm having trouble getting a neat flat and even finish when using white. Okay, you're probably over layering it, I would suspect, and you really need to add a little bit of extra cocoa butter as well to make it sort of break it down. White, you kind of need to do one layer. Don't build it up too much, otherwise it can get quite thick. It also depends what you're painting. So when I do things like, let's come back on screen a second while this is melting. When I do things like, I'm trying to think now, people. So people's a good one. So like the mermaid class, you want to, I think I've said on there as well, you just need to do her face almost in one hit, because as I said before, cocoa butter builds layers, and when you build layers, you can imagine it looks like she's got a huge foundation issue. So she's been piling on the foundation and it's got quite thick. So that's what you would need to do with that. So you kind of need to do that part of anything like that in one go. Can you colour with gel? Can you colour with gel colours? We're not going to use gel colours. We are going to be using dusting colours. So gel mixed with cocoa butter I don't think would work. I've never done it, but I'm pretty certain, because gel is liquid, this is oil. Remember, it's an oil-based product, whereas the gel colours are liquid. Don't mix those together. I don't think that's going to be a very good idea. Now in terms of paintbrushes, because my classes, which are all online, I have paintbrushes that we have that are all numbered, and that helps me to be able to tell you which ones to use. So all of my brushes have got numbers on them, and I have 3 or 4 different brushes that do different things as well, but I'm quite specific about these so that people understand exactly what it is that we're doing. So they start down at 00, and then they go 0, 1, 2 and 3 for this particular set of brushes, which are on my website. I'm sure Nikki will help me and put a link up for me. And that's why I use these, because I can say to you, and now everyone, we're going to pick up paintbrush number 1, and then you know you've got the right brush for the right job. But eventually you'll work it out what you're doing anyway. After a few lessons, you won't even be thinking twice about it. And on my website, going back to the website and the lessons, there are lessons starting from as low as 0. In other words, you can go to YouTube and watch some of the stuff I've done, or you can go to the school and they start from sort of £5 just to do like a little floral heart, this kind of thing, and then up to some of the bigger courses. And then we offer payment plans and things like that. So if you fancy doing something, you know, really quite a big course, then do talk to me about instalment paid plans as well, because we can help you with that. So we do beginners flowers and we do beginners cocoa butter. There's a beginners cocoa butter painting course. Let me put a picture of that up so you can see what that looks like. So there's this one as well, which is a lovely one, and loads of people on here will have done it, and they will all start telling you in a minute, any second now. They'll all go, we loved it, because loads of people have done it and it's great. It's a very low cost hobby, this one, because once you kind of set up, you've got your brushes and you've got your paint palette and you've got your cocoa butter and your dusting colours, a little bit of sugar paste and maybe the odd cake or cake board, you're there. You are absolutely there. You don't need anything else. Oh, bit kitchen roll. We're talking of which, I'm just going to lean over and get mine. You literally don't need anything else. So it's nice and easy. And then once you've got it, you can then just have a little play with it. And people love it. They have a go on cupcakes, big cakes, all sorts of cakes. So it's a really nice hobby to do. And I haven't done it for a little while on here because I've been doing lots and lots of cakes and other things. So I thought tonight, because I'm under pressure, and I am under a lot of pressure at the moment, I would do some painting instead. Then I don't have to leap about too much. So there we go. Right, let's get back to this screen. You can see the cocoa butter has now completely melted and will stay melted because this has got hot. Okay, this is super duper hot, so we don't want to put our hands on it too much. Now, we are painting all gold tonight because this is a gold cake. So let's put in here. Right, I'm going to, oh, that's helpful. I haven't even opened this one. Oh no, I have opened it. There we go. Right, let's tip a little bit of this one on here. So this is, gosh, I shall have to put these in order so I don't forget. Deep, rich gold. Right, I'm going to put that one there. This one, this is the bling one, I think. Yeah, I think I've used quite a bit of this one already. Yeah, I have. This, oh, I was going to use an awful lot more of it then. Anyway, actually, I'm probably going to need a fair amount, so that's okay. There we go. Chuck it everywhere, it's fine. And this one is called Bright Gold. Okay, hold on, I haven't opened this one yet, which is more yellowy actually. So we've got 3 different shades of gold. There we go. That's the one I like the best, clearly. Right, okay, there we go. Everyone's talking about the course now. You don't have to be able to paint. In fact, I prefer it if you can't paint because it helps me to teach you the way I do it, and it's a really lovely thing to do. In lockdown, loads and loads of people were painting because it was just such a nice thing to do, and it's very if you're finding it all very stressful, it's a really nice hobby to just kind of sit and do a little bit of painting. I'm going to show you tonight how easy it is. So I'm just dipping my brush in the cocoa butter just to make sure they're clean because I've been up to no good. It's a really nice simple thing to do. You can just sit down and paint one afternoon, and again I'm going to show you how to do that. There we go. I haven't got a Wonder Dust spoon. I need to speak to Carol about that. Carol, if you're watching, I need a Wonder Dust spoon and the blue Wonder Dust, please. Okay, lustre dusts, yeah, you will use more cocoa butter versus Wonder Dust. I want so the mixture between these two, the lustres, you will use more than if you're using a matte colour. So when I mean a matte colour, I mean just a colour like red or something like that. And then you will end up using using a little bit less. So let's have, I'm going to get, what paintbrush we got here? Paintbrush number 2. So let's paint these colours out first and see what we've got, shall we? And then we'll bring the project in so we can have a little look. Okay. You're laughing at me. Right, what have we got here? So this one is Deep Rich Gold Lustre. I have to leave them around where I am because otherwise I forget when I start talking. So let's have a look at this one here. So we'll see what we can get. So when you dip your brush into the cocoa butter, you go across to the dust here and you pick it up. And you give it a good old mix until it's sort of fairly thick. And then you can get some sort of level of coverage. There we go. Right, so let's see what we've got on here. So this is the first one. Gosh, my lights are shining on it, so it's looking very bling from where I'm sitting. Okay, so that is the first one. So it's very good coverage, isn't it, already? So you do find the lustre dust will cover. The lady who was saying she was struggling, try lustre dusts maybe, because it might be that you might have a coverage issue, and lustre dusts are definitely more forgiving than the matte dusts initially. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of that one. So that one is Rich Gold Lustre. Let's move on and do, well, I know Sparkling Gold's my favourite, so let's do this one next. This is Uber Bling, isn't it, this one? Right, let's get this going. We've got quite a big board to do, so I'm not too worried about chucking it everywhere because I know I'll end up using predominantly this one, so I'm okay. All right, nearly there. So you can see what I mean. We're using a fair amount, but you don't want to make it so runny that it doesn't cover anything. And you'll know if it doesn't cover anything because you'll see straight through it. So sometimes if you want to paint, I'll find if you want to get closer to the gold quicker, you can often dye your sugar paste. I keep talking about this colour Autumn Leaf. Autumn Leaf is a really good colour. You can paint straight onto that. That's really nice. Somebody's just, I bought the Flower Emboss and struggled to blend colour because they were too small. I bought the Flower Embosser. Oh, well, I'm going to do those in a minute, I think, if it's one of mine, or a patchwork cutter maybe. Hopefully this should help you. Okay, so here's the next gold. This one is the Sparkling Gold. So you can see when you put the two together, it's quite interesting actually, just to kind of see the difference between them. Because everyone goes gold and then they don't think, unless it's like rose gold, everybody just immediately thinks it's one particular shade of gold. And actually gold can be quite a lot of shades. So there you go, there's quite a difference between those two. And now let's do this last one. Now in between, I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm just wiping it, dipping it in the cocoa butter and just wiping it on a piece of kitchen roll. It saves me having to run backwards and forwards to the sink. And that's why I'm doing it. Cocoa butter's really cheap and it takes ages for it to deteriorate. So you should be absolutely fine. Right, let's pop this on here. I'm going to put a few more buttons in there. Don't put too many in because otherwise it'll overflow. There we go. Right, so let's try this one. So this one is the last one, which is Bright Gold, unless Carol's bought more out that I don't know about. She might have done, you never know. I have failed to look and check. I've got some of the other ones, but they're not gold, and we have to do gold tonight. So, because this cake is an anniversary cake. So I thought, well, let's paint out the 3 golds first and see what we think. There we go. They are really different, aren't they? There we go. And that will give us a bit of an idea what's going on, isn't it? Who hasn't finished their certificate? I've just read that. Maeve. I'm going to be checking now. I also teach royal icing, you know. A lot of them know that too online. So if anyone wants to have a go at piping, I can teach you that as well. There you go. So those are the 3 colours gold that we've got on here. So we're going to move this out of the way and we're going to use a combination of this selection tonight, I think. I'm going to keep this next to me for reference and then I can pick and choose what I want to do. But we're not going to introduce any other colour apart from we're going to add some sprinkles later on, which will be white ones. So I don't want to add any other colours bar gold, but we can use these shades to kind of create exactly what it is that we want to do. So that's fine. I'm very happy with that. So let's put those over there and we'll move this out of the way. Now I'm going to, let's put me back on screen for a second. There we go. I'm going to bring this board in. Now it's huge, this board. So I need to make sure. It's a 16-inch board. This is why I iced it before I went live, because I don't think I'd be able to get it under my camera. I thought this is not happening. So, ooh, here we go. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. There you go. Now, you'll see it probably better under the camera in a second, but what I've done is I've taken a 12-inch board and I have just put it on there and I've marked it so I know where this cake's got to sit. Now, I also know that even though it's a 12-inch board, it's going to be a little bit bigger because it's got ganache and all that stuff on there as well. So I've had to allow for a little bit extra space. So I know that I've got to do this pattern fairly tight. I'm going to just move this out of the way for a second because I need to get my camera in and we can go from there. Who's going on about ice cream vans? I just spotted that. Anyone again read my Instagram this week? I had a very, very stressful weekend delivering wedding cakes. I'm going to tell you the story now because honestly, I think I'd like to know who would do what I did because it was crazy. I turned up at a wedding. And when I got there, this bride and groom, they'd had their cake delayed several times and or their wedding delayed several times. So then I had read the notes many times over the last whatever. And obviously I'd read them massively during that week leading up to the wedding. And they had a white peony on their cake. The cake was on sugar and crumbs. I put it up there and it said dusted with light pink. Now the bottom of the cake had a big frill round it, so I decided we were going to dust all the edges of these frills, which we did, and then the peony as well. I dusted the edge of the peony but quite subtly to kind of match the bottom, so it all looked really, really nice. So I took it over to the venue in Oxford, and when I got there I put the cake up, huge relief, 4-tier cake delivered, wonderful. Then I turned round and I looked at everything else in the room and I thought, oh my God, there's pink everywhere. And there was pink this, pink that, pink the other, and the cake didn't have enough pink on it, in my opinion. So I drove all the way then to another venue, which was an hour away, dropped that cake off, so I had a second one to do before I could get back home, grab another pot of pink, and I drove all the way back to the other venue, which was over an hour away, and I dusted the middle of this flower because I just couldn't let it go because I'm a massive perfectionist, you see. And yeah, so it was a very long and stressful delivery moment, but we got there in the end, so there you go. All I can say is I went above and beyond on that one. Completely. Right, let's go back to this. Now I've told you about my traumas of the week. We're going to, so this is the corner of my cake board, which I'm going to turn round as we go. So let's just try and square it up a little bit if we can. So we're going to use a combination of the lovely patchwork cutters, which I have been showing over various weeks. Now I've actually got 2 different ones on the go here. So we have got Wild Rose. So this is Wild Rose. That's also Wild Rose, and then I've also got Blossom and Leaf, which is my favourite one to use as well. So I've got a nice gold fingernail now just to add to everything. So we're going to use that as well, and we're going to mark this out. So the plan of action, you can see here where I've marked that's a 12-inch cake board. Now in theory it's probably going to come out a little bit further because that's by the time the cake's had the ganache and all those other bits and pieces, the cake's going to come out further than that. So I'm going to keep this very, very tight to the edge of this because I do want it to look like it fits. I don't want to then put the cake on and I can't see it. So we're going to go for a large one in the corner here. So let's put this on here. I'm going to just bring that there like so. I'm just going to press it down just so that it marks. I'm going to lift that out. There you go. You can see that's marked there. Now, make sure you don't press it down too far. Note to self, always take dust with you on deliveries. Nikki, I'm not joking. In the entire time I've been doing wedding cakes, I have never taken a dust with me on a wedding cake delivery. I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it when I got there. Oh, that's why I was talking about Mr. Whippy, wasn't I? Anyway, after all this trauma, let's come back on again. After all this trauma with this wedding cake deliveries, and as I say, I had started at 9:30 in the morning delivering these wedding cakes, and I'd gone to one venue, back again, and then back again. It was 1 o'clock. I was heading home, and I happened to be behind an ice cream van, and it turned right into an estate. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to chase that ice cream van, and I did, and it stopped, and I was very happy about that. So I had an ice cream van, Mr. Whippy, and I was fully recovered then after that incident. So there we go. Right, okay. I always take repairs, but I didn't expect that, I'll tell you. Right, so this is also wild rose. So what we're going to do here, so I thought I would put this in here. I did plan this out, you know, but all my planning time sort of went a bit down the drain this afternoon. I had to go out and then to the Apple store. We'll put this one in here as well. So we'll keep it kind of nice and tight, I think. Press it down. There we go. Now, if you don't quite get it all, what I find with these patchwork cutters, they kind of just slot back in again. Obviously, don't press them down too far. And if you do press them down too far, if you just run your finger over it, they kind of come back up again. So that's quite handy on that point of view. So now I've also got, this is from the Blossom and Leaf set. Okay, so let's try that. So I was going to put, where are we? Yeah, I'm going to put that in there. Oops, I need to make sure I hold it still before I actually press it down. So there we go. We'll press that down like so. See what we get. Oh, I haven't quite caught the end. That's better. And then I've got the other one that they go in two opposite directions here. Look at that. So that's quite handy actually, because then it goes the opposite way where I want it to go. So let's do that. I'm just going to make sure that's actually going to stay on the end. Sometimes when you put sugar paste on a board, it contracts, which is a bit annoying. So I'm just going to make sure that's not going to do that. And then we'll keep that again. You can see I'm right to the edge on this because I don't want the cake to cover up the pattern. Okay, like so. There we go. So we've got a really, really nice pattern here without actually basically having to paint it by hand, not knowing too sure what we're doing. We've got a nice, simple pattern just by using a combination of these cutters. So I'm going to move this across. Now this is where I'm going to run out of space. Let me just move things out of the way for a moment. I have to keep juggling because this board is so huge. Right, let's put that. Are we on? Yes, we are. There we go. Right, so we've got the other side here. So let's try and copy this again on this side. So I'm going to pop that down there. And it's all going to work out exactly because these cutters are all the same. So you can't go wrong really, she says. Probably will, but that's okay. It's fine. Right, let's press that down. My board it's very white, isn't it? My board is actually, now what did I use? Satinara I used this time. I've been using Massa quite a bit on my wedding cakes at the moment because I'll tell you why. I know it costs a bit more, but it's giving me a few extra days of flexibility sometimes because the cakes occasionally need help. I would describe it as in the morning when you go downstairs and you look at it and you think, hello, I've got an air bubble. And if you're using something like Massa, you've got more of an opportunity of being able to get rid of the air bubbles, because sometimes if you use something like Renshaw's and then you press the air bubbles in, then you have all sorts of problems. Right, there we go. So lift that out. So that's quite nice then. So if I bring this back a little bit like that, just about, you'll see that it's sort of coming together like that in the middle, and it will work out exactly because these are the same size. You can't go wrong with this really. So that one is going to go over there. So just check when you're doing it that you've got the right ones. You should be on the opposite one here. And we had that coming out of there. So we had it nice and tight to the board. And just press that down. Like so. That's going to be fab, this. I love it already. There we go. I'm easily amused though, just remember that. It doesn't take much to amuse me, I can assure you. Right, let's do, are we going to do the top half of this? That's the question. Do we want to go at the top as well? I'll tell you what we'll do at the top. We'll do some slightly, oh, I've gone off completely. There we go. Let's just do a hint of it up the top here rather than the big border, I think. So otherwise I think it might get a bit much. So let's turn this around. So it's like the world's biggest board here. We'll still start with this one, but we'll just do it smaller. So we'll take this. I'll press that down again. Having said that, I'll probably change my mind now and do the whole, actually, oh, I don't know, shall I do the whole thing? Oh, I think I might do the whole thing. Now I've got this far. Yeah, let's do the whole thing. Okay, we're going for it big time. Okay, so this laying out bit, if you wanted to practice this before you go, I was about to say before you go live, before you actually do it on your cake board, just roll out a bit of sugar paste and just have a play around with patterns until you get something that you go, yeah, I like that, it's acceptable. And then you can start pressing it into the sugar paste. Yeah, we're going to go the full hog here. Even if I don't paint it all on the live, we'll do the whole thing, because then we can... got a full-on board then. There's not huge amounts on this cake. It's fresh flowers, you see, so I'm not having too much to do with it, but I did say I would do the board. There we go. Right, so when you start with your layout, say someone's just said what I was going to say. There we go. And then press it down like so. A wild rose has been out of stock for a while, but we're getting some now, apparently. Patchwork cutters had a little breakdown, and I don't mean Marion, I mean the machinery. She'll laugh if I tell you that though. Right, let's put this on here. Right, okay, keep that nice and tight to the corner. Okay, because you can see it's very close here. And then we'll do this one. Is that the right one? Yep. If anyone likes patterns and order, you're going to love this. This is perfect for you. If you like to do things very symmetrically, there's no way you can go too wrong with this, because they're all obviously measured out, which is great. That's what we want. Right, let's do this one here. So, of course, the board's straight as well, so you're not going to be going against the tide there, so that's all right. There we go. And then this one, final one, and then we've got them all on. Now I have got some extra little blossoms. Let me just get those in a second. Let's get that on first. And is that coming off? There we go. I've also got, where have I put them? Here they are. These little ones that are in the blossom and leaf kit as well. So if I wanted to add any kind of little extras anywhere, say I wanted to make the trail a little bit longer, then I could use these if I wanted to join it all up. I'm not going to at the moment, but I have got them on standby in case I change my mind and decide I want to do that. So there we go. Okay, let's move those out of the way. So that's a combination of wild rose and blossom and leaf patchwork cutters. But there are loads of patchwork cutters. They're lovely. Right, let's bring this back in again. Now, this is where I'm going to have to... Look, my tool caddy's in the way now. It's a standing joke, my tool caddy. Let me move it out of the way. There we go. Because I need to get my cocoa butter in as well. There we go. So you can see everything as best as I possibly can. Right, now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have, let me just make sure I've got a brush that's clean. That looks, oh no, there's my clean brush over here. So we're going to do most of the painting at the moment with paintbrush number 2. So we're going to do the bigger ones, that's these ones here, with the bigger brush, otherwise it takes forever. When you start going down to detail, you start changing your brush and decreasing the size of the brush that you're going to be using. So this one is paintbrush number 2. And we're going to do that with this particular one first. So I'm going to keep the middle, this kind of darker gold colour, and we're going to use the lovely bright gold, no, sparkling gold for the outside edge of this. So I'm just reading the packets here to check I've got the right one. Let me turn this around. Whoop, so you can just about see it. There we go. All right, so I'll give that a bit of a mix. I know I'm just about on screen, but honestly, this board is huge. It's absolutely huge. I was going to put the cake on it as well, but I thought that's not a good idea. Let's just do this like this. And then you're going to see this come to life. Now, all you have to do is follow it. It's really not that difficult. And it hopefully will show you as well just how thick or thin you need to do your lustre dust. So if you're finding it's coming out, it's not getting very good coverage, just up the amount of dust that there is, and then you'll find that it will cover better. So we're going to start with this. And as I say, this is a golden wedding anniversary cake. I'm going to look up every so often and check comments because, as I say, I don't have Kelly with me tonight, or Morella. So I will, if you've asked me something and I've missed it, then ask me again and I'll have another look for you. So, or if I miss it completely and you have got some burning question, please email me, but you'll notice there's a bit of a kind of sort of a panic-stricken reply on there at the moment saying, help, I'm in the middle of weddings and I will get back to you. So if anybody's waiting for me to get back to them, I will get back to you, but it's just taking me a bit longer, which is not how I like to run particularly. The sprinkles, right, so let's go back to Kelly Sprinkles. So with Kelly Sprinkles, we're bringing out bits at a time. So we've got one on there at the moment, but they are going to be going with certain projects that we do. And because I've had this computer breakdown this week, I haven't loaded anything on yet, so they are coming. We've got some really nice combinations. So I've got Miss Kelly and sat her down and getting her to put some things together that I think will work really well with some of the cookies and things. So they are on their way. Right, there we go. How are we doing on screen? Oh, we look lovely already. There you go. So for those of you that haven't had a go at painting before, this is the most forgiving way, as in, you know, easy peasy, to do any of this kind of painting, because lustre dust covers really, really well. It's never going to let you down. With mattes, you often have to do 2 or 3 coats to get something that you really like. So, and it's quite quick as well. I'll be able to do the whole board while I'm on live. So if you're looking at this thinking, gosh, it's going to take her hours, it's not going to take me that long at all. And what we'll do, just to keep it nice and simple, is we will do this large ones first and then we'll turn it round. And then that will give also this an opportunity to dry. And that's quite important. And you'll find that cocoa butter dries very quickly. It's taking a little bit longer at the moment because it is a little bit more humid, a bit warmer. And cocoa butter obviously doesn't like heat particularly. It's a bit of a nightmare when it's boiling hot. You just have to bear that in mind. Please, can you tell me what the fluid is you're using? Okay, so we're using cocoa butter, which is, it comes in button form, and I've melted it. So I've got a hot candle under here that's keeping it melted, and that's what I'm using to mix these in. There we go. Right, so I'm going to come up onto this one here. Okay. So I've left the back of the calyx for the moment because I can use one of the other golds to do that. Now this flower here, when you study it, you can actually still see the center, so you need to be a little bit careful here. There's middle bits there, and again, once we put the different shades of gold in, then you'll be able to see the difference. At the moment we're just using one gold and we're just using paintbrush number 2, which is quite a big paintbrush, but we're going round our board and we're going to do all the big areas first, and then we're going to come back and start doing some more of the detail as we go. So that's what we're doing. Anybody's got any questions about anything? As I said to you, I'm on my own, so I will look up, and if I miss it, because the comments are coming in thick and fast, I will go back. What is the difference between painting with cocoa butter to rejuvenator? So with rejuvenator or alcohol, it's more difficult to build up layers, whereas with cocoa butter you can build up quite nice layers on things. So it means that you can do lots of shading, not necessarily so much with things like dusting colours, with things like lustre dusts, but when we do, like I teach beginners flowers, and you can build up some really nice shades. I'm just turning my board here, some really nice shades of, there we go, different colours using cocoa butter. So it is a very popular way of painting cake. There we go. I'm going to turn that there. I hope you can see that. Okay, let's keep going. So that's why I use it. I get on really, really well with it. There are other things I will not deny that I would use vodka or I use vodka clearly, or clear alcohol and dusting colour. For certain reasons, usually because I just want a single colour maybe, and I don't want to be messing about. But I tend to paint things 2 or 3 times to get different effects, not necessarily with lustres, but certainly with matte colours. But I thought I would show this tonight anyway. Can I spray instead of paint? I think you might find that if you spray this, you're going to have a job to control the spray. So if you can maybe airbrush it if you particularly want to, but I don't know how you're going to contain it within painting on this. So you can have a go, but I'm not sure on that one. Coconut oil is not the same as cocoa butter. Now, I know there's a few people on here that have tried it with coconut oil. If you are on here, please can you tell me, the ones that have tried it with coconut oil, it is not the same. So it doesn't have the same effect. I believe it's quite thick and quite difficult to use. So don't be under the illusion you can this is not a product you're going to find in Tesco's or Sainsbury's or other well-known supermarkets. It is a product that you're going to be able to get either from myself or Sugar and Crumbs. And you're looking for cocoa butter. It's not expensive. You don't need bags and bags and bags of it. One bag is more than enough. It's got a really long shelf life on it. It's like a little bit of a store cupboard special. What colour sprinkles am I bringing out? Well, that's down to Kelly. I still haven't waiting for her to sort that out. She's in the bubble tea shop at the moment. We will let you know. They're going to be going with things that we're creating for, dare I say it, Christmas. I know, don't shoot me down in flames, please. Yeah, there will be some things coming out for Christmas. I know, it's not, do you know, I went to John Lewis, oh goodness me, only literally about 2 days ago, and they were putting out Christmas decorations. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my God, that feels like 5 minutes since we've had Christmas and it's back again. So there we go. Right. I'm just going to move this over here a tiny bit. And we'll come back over here. Last week, was it? No, week before. We had the patchwork heart cutters on the cookie cutters, and then Marion tells me that the machinery had broken down. Oh no, and I couldn't get them, but I've managed to get most of them. I think there might be 1 or 2 of you still waiting, but we are almost at the point of getting them all out now. But I've had to buy them from here, there and everywhere to get everybody's order out. So yeah, we'll get there eventually. I haven't forgotten anybody, don't worry if you're waiting for anything. I never usually forget anyone, but sometimes it takes me a bit of time to sort it out, but we're getting there. There we go. See, it's coming along fairly quickly. Okay. Right. Like so. Right, let's turn it again. You see the coverage is looking pretty good. This should look very nice when we're done. Who's making Christmas cake? Maeve. Oh. Right, I'm going to just move this across a tiny little bit. I'm trying not to squash the sugar paste, to be honest, because it's fresh and I don't want to knock it. There we go. Right, where are we? We're still on this sparkling gold colour at the moment. We'll go back to this anyway, but what I want to do is kind of mirror this all the way around. And I can chat to you while I'm doing this, you see. I can answer your questions. This is a golden opportunity, you know, on these lives to ask any questions. You know, sometimes you sit around and you can watch a YouTube video and that's going to help you to a point, but on these lives you actually get to ask people like me and Carol and anybody else what something specifically for you, and if I can answer it I will. If I ignore it, it's because I'm not looking at the screen, you see. Okay, are you having Christmas tree boxes? Yeah, I hope so. Hope so. Do you know, the supply chain is a little ropey at the moment. I think we've talked about this. I'm sure Carol's definitely talked about this. I mean, honestly, the main supplier, we used to get absolutely everything overnight. Oh dear. You log on, sometimes it's overnight, sometimes it's 3 to 5 days wait, and you think, oh my goodness. So everything has gone a little haywire, hasn't it? I don't know about anyone with cat food, but I'm really struggling to get cat food, and my cats are not impressed with Felix at the moment. They really are not. So yes, I've had to go looking around. They're very fussy. They like Sheba. They're very expensive. That was a mistake. But anyway, yeah, they don't like Felix. So I've had to go and run around everywhere trying to find it. So yeah, we're trying. We're doing everything we possibly can to keep everybody's cakes on the move. So just bear with everybody. But things like chocolate transfer sheets come from Belgium, you see. And we are coming up for Halloween. I know it's sort of almost within reaching, touching distance, or Kelly will tell you it is because she loves Halloween. And I have not seen any Halloween transfer sheets yet available. Now, that makes me think we might not get them this year, but I would have thought they would have been in by now. But we'll have to see, won't we? See what happens. So this is the third out of the fourth one. So this is the biggest flowers that we're doing with paintbrush number 2 using Wonder Dust Sparkling Gold. So there you go, it's a little summary if anybody's just joined us, wondering what on earth I'm doing. Oh, your kittens are on feed. I've just given my Felix cat food to the cat's home because my cat will not have it, or my cats at multiple won't have it. So we've got a little RSPCA place, so I've given it to them. I'm not going to just leave it in my cupboards because the cats are definitely protesting about it. I don't want to upset Norman, you see, or Kylie, my little cats. All right, nearly there. Let's speed up a little bit. So I'm trying to see what it's going to look like in shades of gold this evening. This is what we're aiming for here. So we're trying to just use gold, and I'm trying to show you that you don't need to be an amazing drawer or any of those things, artist. You can just literally use the patchwork cutters and line them all up. Spoiled cats, they're really spoiled. My cats won't eat any apart from Sheba. Right, well, I've got the same problem. That's exactly what mine like. And as for the Dreamies, if I go anywhere near the Dreamy packet, there is a riot in my house. My cats, well, unfortunately, Norman is trained to come and get his Dreamies at 2 o'clock every day. So, and he gets proper put out if you're not there. I think he's been a bit too spoilt, to be honest. But there we go. He's my cat, that's why. I've got a very large... And he's like a dog, actually. He's a very large ginger tomcat, and he's absolutely lovely. And then I have a tortoiseshell girl cat, and she's quite old, actually. She's 13, but she's a little madam. She's got a mind of her own. She likes Charlotte a lot. So, yeah, little monkeys they are at the moment. There we go. Right, so you can see how this is coming on. We're doing okay here. I'm missing out that middle bit because that's where I intend to put the darker colour. Now once we've done this one, we'll turn it again, and you'll see that it will have dried by the time we've got to the next turn. So as I say, normally 1 to 2 minutes to let it dry. This time of year, maybe marginally more. The hotter it gets, or the warmer it gets, the longer it takes. Yeah, I like ginger cats too. I've always had a ginger cat in my house. I do like ginger cats. And he is exceptionally spoilt. It's terrible, isn't it? Oh dear. Okay, so nearly there on this one. You're part of Cat Rescue when I arrive. Yeah. Dreamies. And I tell you what, with Dreamies, we introduced the Dreamies to the cats. I don't know why we did that, but anyway, we did. And then we introduced the cheese Dreamy ones, and they were, oh, I don't know what was in those, but they just go berserk for those ones. So there's obviously something highly addictive in those cheese ones. Right, a bit more cocoa butter because it's drying out now. I've had a girl ginger cat, and she was a little monkey. But all the boy gingers I've had, they've been lovely, and I've had about 4, so they're all a bit daft. That's what I find with ginger boys. They are all a bit mad. Right, this is our last big flower. I'm going to do the whole lot because I want you to see the whole thing at the end. I think it's quite important, actually. I can chat away talking about my cats. Cats love cheese. My cat used to like Marmite, one of them. I don't know why. It's an odd one, isn't it? I'm going to get some kitchen roll here. Yeah, I don't know what's in those Dreamies, but I'll tell you something. Mine are addicted to them. Especially the cheese ones. Right. Okay. So we're having a nice, calm, relaxing evening tonight, doing a little bit of painting, a little bit of chat. There, perfect. Okay, right. So we've done that bit. I'm going to just turn this board again, then we're back to the beginning. Okay. Oop. There we go. So if I put my finger on it, it's dry. See that? Nothing. It's going completely dry, and that's what we want. So let's mix the colours up a little bit. Well, actually, before we do that, we're going to change brushes. Let's go down to brush number 1. So this is a smaller brush because we've done the big stuff now. So let's go down to a little bit something else. Cats love quavers. Oh, interesting. Cats are funny. They do like certain things, don't they? I think they rule a house in our house anyway. Right, let's just move that up so you can see it. Bring that in a tiny little bit. Seem to have. All right, let's move that across. Get it a bit more in the middle. There we go. I've just read Sharon's comment. That's so funny. Porcelain cup and saucer. That's hilarious. Oh dear. I've got that many cat beds. Of course, they only ever want to sleep on your own bed, don't they? They don't want to sleep in their beds. Right, so I've reduced the brush size to brush 1, and I'm still going to use the sparkling gold at the moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just paint these ones here that are a little bit smaller. So we've got some flowers here. So by reducing the size of my brush, it means I can get in there without painting everything else. So anybody who has had these before and had a go at painting and saying they're struggling, look at what paintbrushes you're using. It could be that your brush is too big for what you're trying to do. In that case, you need to get a set of brushes, just a set of 5 different size brushes. Keep them for cocoa butter painting. Don't use them for anything else. Anything else like, oh, I don't know, putting on some sugar glue or something. Just don't use them for anything else, okay? Keep your cocoa butter brushes for your cocoa butter, all right? Keep them out of the way. I've got a little container that's completely separate from everything else. I'm just looking at what I'm doing here. That does not, which means they're all separate. I don't have my brushes all mixed up from anything else that I use for anything else. There we go. Where are we here? Right. Nikki's answer. Nikki is my online PA unofficially, so if I'm missing any questions, hopefully, well, Nikki is answering them for me, which is fantastic. There we go. Nikki is also an excellent painter, and she'll be telling me off in a minute, but she's a very, very good painter. Right, also on here there's some little tiny buds, so we're just going to put those on there like so. And we've got one here as well, just a little tiny one there. Can you see? All right, so that's going along there a little bit further. We've got cat stories galore tonight, haven't we? I can see that coming. Right, let's move this over here. So again, we've got some little flowers on this side. I want to catch those in the same gold. I think when we change golds, it's going to show up probably better on camera than it will do in front of me, because when I sometimes look at things, because I've got lights on me as well, you have a job to kind of see what's going on. And then I look up at the cameras and go, oh yeah, you can see it. I know, it's a bit dark really, but there you go. That's, I can't paint without you. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So I've got some nice, I'm doing a, well, I say I'm doing, I've got to finish or refilm this ice cream bowl first, which is really annoying. It's only the last 5 stages as well, it's typical. So I've got to refilm that this week. But I'm getting ready to carry on doing the Christmas and Halloween. Lots of projects there. Okay, there we go. So we're not going to do those leaves with the sparkling gold. We're just going to do, so I've done the big flower and then the 2 flowers there and the little ones there, but obviously we've had to change brush, so it'll get a little bit kind of quicker now. So let's go, which way are we turning? Clockwise every time. So let's turn that again. There we go. Right, where are we? Do I do one-on-one classes? I don't, but you can do lives. I do lives with groups. We do projects together. That's honestly the same. At the moment, though, I haven't put a live on at the minute. I must do that. I don't think there's anything scheduled for a live because it's, well, I do know why, because it's wedding season and it's making me honestly tear my hair out. Didn't expect it to. It's all caught up with me, I think. It's yeah, it's full on. So I'm not doing any one-to-ones at the moment. No, I there's loads of classes all pre-recorded though. The beginners class is all pre-recorded. So let's say, yeah, you can buy turntables that tilt. Oh, we've gone on to that for some reason. I've obviously missed the link to that, or what was going on there. Yeah, tilting turntables. So in case you get a bad back, and actually they're quite good because they have little non-slip mats built into them, so you don't, nothing's going to fall on you, which is quite good. Right, let's move over here. See, we're now starting to whiz round this because kind of once you get that first, those big ones done, yeah, actually it doesn't take that long to get round all of this. It's going to be very full on this board, but that's okay. I wouldn't probably normally do a board as drastic as this, but why not? Why not? Give it a go, eh? There we go. Yeah, the ice cream class is coming. So anyone who's joined me late today, we've got an ice cream class. It's a novelty cake class that's coming. Well, I've said Friday, but potentially it might be Monday now because of this computer breakdown today. I'm going to see if I can try and film it before Friday. If I can't, it will be Monday. And it is on offer at the moment, and it will stay on offer until Monday because of my little blip. Well, it's not my blip, it's the blinking iPad. So, and hence I've had to go to Apple, and I'm not joking, I wouldn't go to the Apple store unless I was desperate because it's over an hour away from me. It's like the nearest one is an hour and, well, it's just miles in all directions as well. It's not like I can go, oh, well, not that one, I'll go to the other one. They're all an hour away. So, yeah. And of course, then when you get there, they say, yeah, just leave it with us for a bit. And it's like, oh, God, no. I was going to go shopping, but I was so tired. I went in Marks and Spencer's and I sat in the cafe and had a cup of tea to wake myself up. Oh, dear. I would have had a little sleep in the corner, but I was a bit concerned about whether or not I would not wake up again in time to get back here. Oh, dear. Could have gone back to the car for a power nap, couldn't I? I should have done that. Never mind. Okay, so there you've got one more to go after this, and then that's all those little bits done. So we're still on the same colour. You can see I'm leaving a gap in the middle where there's sort of an imprint of a centre going on of some description. It's upside down on that side for me. There we go. So yeah, now where are we now? We are August, so it's soon going to be time. I don't know what anyone else is like, but I always find that, well, when the kids used to go back to school, it always used to set me off on, oh, I must learn something. I must get out the adult education books and learn something. So if you're planning on learning something, why not go for something like painting, because it is a really nice thing to do. And say, hopefully I'm showing you that it's really not that difficult. And a few lessons and you'll either be hooked or yeah, you won't be able to put it down. Then they will blame me, you see. Any they'll all say in a minute, have I got anyone to help me? Well, Miss Kelly is my assistant at the moment. And then I have one lady who does my accounts, because honestly, that's just my forte, is not accounting. It is absolutely awful. I just could not do it. If you paid me, it's terrible. So yeah, I don't have anything to do with that. So I have a graphic designer, and she does my website for me, thank goodness. Actually, Kelly is key to everything that goes on here. But she's got her little job in the bubble tea shop as well, which she needs, because you wouldn't want to be working with me all the time, she says, which is true. I don't want to work with your mum all the time. Right, last one. And we turn again. You wait till you see this en masse. It looks really nice. I will hold it up at the end so you can see it, because you're only seeing like little corners at the moment. Yes, it's very, yeah, there you go. We're all talking about getting hooked now on it. It is. It's a very addictive, but it's the best thing about it is that even though it's addictive, it's not expensive to run. You know, sometimes when you go, right, sugar flowers, oh my God, I love sugar flowers. And then before you know it, you're spending a fortune on cutters. It's not like that. It really isn't. It's not like that at all. Yes, you'll buy a few bits, but you can pace yourself. And then once you've kind of worked out what you're doing, you probably won't need me anyway. So you're going to be fine on your own, and you'll start seeing the potential of what you can and can't paint. You know, when you come to do a cake and you look at it and go, how do I do that? Oh, I could paint that. And then you think differently. So it's just adding another kind of skill to your skill base, really, isn't it? That's all it is. Something extra, isn't it? It's like learning to airbrush, or which I do love, actually. I do like airbrushing. Trying to think if there's anything on royal icing. Obviously, yeah, we love the royal icing. That's been very popular. We've got a lovely group of royal icers. Most of them are on here as well. Lovely, lovely group of royal icers. And that's a great one to do as well. I've got to do the royal ice Christmas cake yet. They'll all go, yay, any minute. Yeah, there we go. Look, they're all loving it now. I've seen in the past on here, lots of people have painted boards. There's one lady, I can't think of her name now. No, she's just moved house recently. I can't think of her name, who it is. Anyway, every time she painted a board, it was amazing. She might be on live, actually. If she suddenly appears, and if I see her name, I'll mention who it is. I've forgotten. So I've got too much in my brain at the moment. Right, there we go. Let's keep going. And a little bit up this one. We're nearly there. This is the last corner for this. We're just about managing with this brush, okay, so that's all right. So we're still on the same gold. We're going to change in a second. We're going to change to a different gold and see what happens. There we go. How about that? Can't think of the lady's name. If when I see it, I'll know it. She was always doing cake boards and all sorts of things. Then she said to me she wasn't going to be doing much because she was moving house. I can't remember who it was. There you go. Right, let's turn this. Okay, there we go. Right, so we're back at the beginning now. So all four corners have been done, and we're going to stick with paintbrush number 1, but we're going to try this other gold. We're going to do what should we do? Let's think about this. Actually, we'll do the darker gold first, because then we can decide what we want to do with the other one. There we go. So we'll stick with, actually no we won't. We will change up a brush. So we'll go to paintbrush 2 for the centre of these. And we're going to grab this one here. Now this one, what do we say this one was called? Deep Rich Gold. Okay, let's do this. Deep Rich Gold, everybody. Now I can't think who's moving house either. I can't think of who it was. And then we're going to just stipple this into the centre of this flower. You can see, because it's got a bit of texture in the patchwork cutter, that actually gives you a really nice middle. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. It looks like it is. Just about. Okay. So I'm not adjusting these colours, I'm taking them in neat form, so I'm not sort of making them lighter or darker or doing anything strange with them. I am just taking them as is. Let's have a look at that. There you go. That's subtle, that's what we mean. No, it's not dough. Doe's addicted though. She has an addiction called cocoa butter painting. She tells me off every so often, it's well funny. And if she's watching, I love it, it's hilarious. Right, can you see that middle there? That's come out okay, isn't it? Right, now we're going to, this is another middle in here, so I'm just going to take my brush and just stipple that in there as well. I can just about get in there with brush 2. There you go. It's subtle, that's what we want. We don't want it to be sort of like, you know, the whole thing is meant to be gold, but we don't want it to be, you know, I want it to be subtle gold. And I just wondered what it would be like if we did this in just the golds that were available on the Wonder Dust, just to see what happened. It's looking okay so far, isn't it? There we go. So far, so good. Right, let's just turn it again. Sorry, everybody. Got to go again. Okay, because while I've got my brush in my hand, you see, I want to go round and do it all. This is the way you should paint it, rather than just doing each corner and then going back to the beginning. Because while you've got the colour on the brush and you can remember what it is that you've done, just do it all in stages. And it also, when you paint a picture, for example, when we do cocoa butter painting, we will not just paint, for example, let's say we were doing, I don't know, a cat. We wouldn't just do the cat's head and nothing else. We would do the cat's body, and then we'd move on to the feet, then we'd go and do the head, and then we'd come back and do the body, and then we'd do the feet, and then we'd go round and round and round in circles until we've got it all done. And each time we're moving on to a different area, we're letting it dry, you see, so that's why. Can you do cocoa butter on royal icing? You can, as long as it's dry. So if you've got a dry royalised cookie and you wanted to paint something on it, then the answer to that is yes. Okay. You can do cocoa butter painting on buttercream, but you've got to be careful with that, because don't forget the buttercream, this is a hot product, or hot-ish product, and buttercream is quite vulnerable. You can paint on ganache. Again, you need to be careful because it's chocolate and this is hot, and you can end up melting it, but it's possible, but you need to be careful. I'm reading this. So royal icing makes a great drip paint. Yeah, royal icing. I did a royal ice drip cake last week, didn't I? I've kept that cake. I know it's really bad, but I loved it. I just wanted to keep it for my background here. It's unusual for me because I don't normally keep very much, but I kept that one. It's behind me. And if you missed it, you'll have to go to YouTube and watch it because it's on there. So I'm just knocked the sugar paste up there. I don't want to knock it. Okay, here we go again. Right, this is corner number 3. Around we go again. And then we'll make some more decisions about what we're doing here. The coverage is good. I haven't had to go over it twice or anything like that, have I? I've literally just done it in one. Like so. Where are we? We nearly did it on the wrong one then. So with these 2 flowers here as part of this wild flower selection, this one has got a centre that shows up there, and then this one doesn't have anything, I don't think. No, it doesn't. No. I have to look twice then. But Patchwork have a lot of lovely flower cutters that you can use to do this kind of thing. So if you are starting out and you just want a bit of guidance, then this is really honestly the best way to go. Go. Right, turn it again. Yeah, have a go on a birthday cake. Why not? It doesn't have to be high pressure and weddings, you know. You can always do it on absolutely anything. The class on the 5th, or the ice cream class, Donna, that's coming out, may be delayed by a couple of days because I've had a computer breakdown this afternoon and it has corrupted, she says, smiling at the same time, the last 5 stages of the ice cream bowl cake, which means I have to refilm them, which is not going to be easy. I'm going to try my hardest to get it done, but for the 5th, but if I don't, it will be out literally a couple of days later. I might just need to buy a small amount of time just to get it done. I am annoyed because I have finished it ages ago and I've uploaded 3/4 of the course, and then I went to do the last little bit and it stopped working. I thought, I don't believe this. It's never happened, ever. But it has today. And I'm not very happy about it. And there we go. Such is life. And there we go. Okay, right. So that is corner number 4. So we're going to turn it again. You're going to love this at the end. I tell you, when I show you the whole thing, you'll be like, wow. Because I'm going, wow, and you can't see it. There we go. Yeah, my computer is not. Well, it's not my computer that's done it. It's the iPad, would you believe it? And when it has then affected my computer. So, it's just turned into a mess, quite honestly. Right, we're going to get rid of brush 2 now. We're going to go down to brush 1. Now let's bring in this other gold, shall we? This one, what was this one called? I've forgotten. Bright gold. Bright gold. Let's do the leaves. Bright gold. Let's see what we get. It's looking very baroque. 5th of August. This ice cream class, this ice cream bowl class, is meant to be out on Friday, which is the 5th. Is it? No, it's not. It's Thursday. It's the 5th. No, it won't be. It will be after that. Very quickly after that. It's just until I get this sorted. Right. Okay. So let's dip that in there. I've just put a little bit more cocoa butter in there because I'm starting to run out now. And let's try this colour here, which is bright gold. Okay. I have to keep looking back at the names because they're obviously they're similar-esque, but I think when they're sort of split up like this, they're not, if that makes any sense. So we'll do the calyx in bright gold. I don't know how much difference it's going to show you. It might be a lot, it might be absolutely nothing, but we'll have a look and see what it does. I think it might be one of these ones that's better by eye than it is by camera, maybe, I don't know. Let's just do the leaves to start with and see how we go. I think this one is a little bit more yellow, maybe. Yes, it is. It's a little bit more yellow. Now, if you press too deep on these patchwork cutters, the only other thing that happens, you just need to be aware of this, is it can mean that your paintbrush clips the side of what you've embossed. So don't push down too far, or if you do push down too far, just literally run your finger across the top of it and then it comes back up again and it will flatten itself off. So how's that doing? I don't know if there's that much difference, but I'm sure there probably is by eye. Maybe it dries a different colour, we'll see. Certainly when we mark them out. So let's just have a look at the original one. So here's the original one. So that is the colour we're using at the moment. Is that right? Yes, it is. That's the colour we're using at the moment. That's the colour we've used for the main flowers, and that's the colour we've used for the centre. So there are 3 different colours. Okay. Right. Let's go across here again. So, like so. Across there. There you go. So they do look a little bit different, don't they? I think it's just very subtle shading with all of this. Right, let's do the calyx on the back of this one. Then we'll join them all up at the end. When we get that far, we'll give the leaves a chance. So we can also do a little bit of shading on the leaves if we wanted to. And I want to put a few sprinkles on that I've got in mind as well, just to kind of lighten it up a bit, I guess. Make it look a bit more fluffy, a bit gypsophilia-esque, she says. I'm a big fan of gyps. Oh no, I shouldn't be, but I am. I love it. Now this is for a 50th wedding anniversary cake. So I thought I'd do the board. Very posh because the cake itself is very simple. So it's just going to be a square cake, and then it's having some ribbon around it, and then congratulations. So it's got the words to go on it yet, which I will paint with this colour, but not on the live because I haven't done the cake yet. And then some fresh flowers are going to be added to the cake. And as I say, once it's all done and we've got a picture, we can then put it out so you can see it. Right, we're going. Okay, hold on. So we are corner number 2. On this colour is bright gold. There you go. It's quite a yellowy gold, isn't it? Who's put that pun in there? Donna. They've struck gold with the gold. Yeah, it's a lovely gold actually. Really nice. In fact, as I say, was sent all of these and I thought, gosh, I did some initially quite quickly with the dusts, and then I thought I haven't had a chance to do anything else. I thought this would actually be quite a nice experiment more than anything else, to kind of see that if painting with all 3 dusts gave you kind of a gold effect without it all being the same gold, because actually that can be quite nice rather than just having every single one colour gold. So this is 3 shades of gold. We'll see how we get on. Boom, very good. So anybody else who's got any more questions about cocoa butter painting, honestly, this is your chance to ask. And if I can answer it, I will. If not, and I missed the question, you'll probably find some of the people that are on here will answer it for you, because they've all done my classes, or a lot of them done my classes. And clearly they've learned something, which is even better, isn't it? So that's coming on all right, actually, isn't it? Okay, so let's go up to this one. Look at the lovely yellow on this gold. It's a really nice yellow. Yes, you can see that. Let's go this way. So this is quite a full-on board, this one. Kind of just let the paint run into the where it's going. The paintbrush can't kind of get out of the lines too easily. You've got to be pressing about with it to kind of make it go in the wrong direction. But this small paintbrush thing is key. I'm on paintbrush number 1 at the moment. You need to get a selection of good paintbrushes, okay? I cannot emphasize that enough to you, so that you can get the brush into the smaller gaps without it painting it all over the place. There we go. We haven't done any painting for a while, and I do miss it actually, because although Kelly's painting at the moment, we've because we've got this massive house cake to do. I've got Kelly painting it because all the brickwork's got to be painted, and I haven't got time, so I've let Kelly get on with it, and she's doing a great job. So you'll see that at the end of the week. I'll post pictures when that's done. It's actually it's a celebration cake for a building company that's around here. That's is it 50 years? It can't be. It's quite a lot. 40 years maybe. And I've done their cake as a house. In fact, I went in this house and it was huge, and took loads of photographs and all the rest of it, and we're making it this week. So that's what's going on top of weddings and computer breakdowns. There we go. Are we still on screen okay? Yes, we are. I don't know about endless talent. I think I'm not very talented when it comes to the I know it's hard to believe here, but I can bake cakes, but please don't ask me to cook anything else, because I think actually what happens is, and I'm going to be honest here, when it comes to cooking tea, you know, that kind of thing, is I put it all on with great intentions, and then I go off and I wander off, and then about 25-30 minutes later I'll go, what is that smell? And then I think, oh my god, I've forgotten the dinner's on again. I've burnt it. I burn things on quite a regular basis because I just forget they're there. Even if I put a timer on, I would not clock it. I know, it's awful. So yeah, I don't think my talents are endless there. I wish they were. Right, let's move that away. So yeah, if you are new and you would like to comment, what if my mother's watching this evening? She comments occasionally. She might suddenly appear. I'll let you know if I see her name pop up. She might do. You never know. I think half my family have joined Sugar and Crumbs so they can watch, you see. That's how we were meeting during lockdown. Oh, I saw you on the live. Couldn't see you in person. Yeah, I'm not. I tell you what, I think also with cooking, going back to what someone's just said there. Who said that? Antonia. Do you know why? And that's because I spend all day in a kitchen, and I mean all day. I'm doing like 12-14 hour days at the moment, all day. And when I have finished in one kitchen, then have to move to another kitchen, I think, oh my god, no more kitchens today. So I think maybe that's it. It's like you know, spending too much time in standing up and washing up and all that kind of stuff. There we go. Right, let's turn it again. So number 3, we're getting there. Yes, you can put one colour on top of another to blend. We're going to try a little bit with the lustres, but I don't think they're going to be as successful to blend as the matte colours. The matte colours are always much more successful. Oh, Princess Emma, what a lovely name. Are you having fun watching Sugar and Crumbs for the... Is it your first time watching, or is it the first time watching me? So I just chatter endlessly, mainly about painting, but I often end up talking about ice cream vans and weddings and various things, clearly tonight, so... Chatting away. If you've got no idea where to start, honestly, these ladies on here, they're so helpful. They will, especially Nikki, who's on links at the moment, she will link you to everything that you need to do. It's not as difficult as it looks. It really is. It doesn't even look difficult. It really isn't. Get a little feel for it by watching some of the YouTube videos I've done as well, and see what you think. But you'll love it. It's a really nice thing to do. There we go. Oh, I keep missing odd bits. I think when I turn this, I'm going to just have to check I've not missed anything. So I keep spotting little bits and pieces that I've missed, but we're getting there. First time watching you. You see, you've been missing out the Tuesday night specials. I normally do Thursday mornings as well, but they're kind of stopped at the moment while I deal with weddings. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm saying that word every 5 minutes. While I deal with weddings, because I'm basically in sort of a flurry of 2020 and 2021 brides, so we've got kind of a double whammy going on. So it's the same amount of work, but in 1 year, and it is honestly the most exhausted I think I've been ever. Because it's just such hard work, because there's so many cakes per week, and it's every week. It's not just 1 week, it's every week, and it's like that until end of September. So actually I've got bank holiday weekend, or I haven't got any, because I did that deliberately because I thought I would need some sleep by that point. So I didn't take any on for that weekend. I said no. And how many people out there don't say no and then regret it? Well, I did say no, and I hopefully won't regret it. It's going to be great. Right, turning again. Right, last corner on this one. So yeah, I said no to all cakes for bank holiday weekend. Well, I've got 1 cupcake bouquet. I couldn't resist that. Oh, I've done this one. Am I back to the square one again? Oh, I am. I've done it. There you go. I didn't even notice. I was chattering away. I didn't even notice I got to the end. Right, let's change brush again. I was hoping I've got my 0 brush here, but I have to keep an eye out for Madam Kelly, because she keeps pinching that brush. What have I done with it? Did I have it here? Actually, I probably could get away with using a brush 1. Let's use brush 1 anyway, but if you don't want to use brush 1, you can use brush 0. And we'll do the stems. Right, okay, let us go for, what should we go for? Let's go for that same colour at the moment. So we'll keep everything much the same. So if you get this onto the end of your brush, like so, and if you hold it, am I on camera? Yeah, you can see it. Right, if I hold it like that and just literally just pull it along where the, make sure you've got plenty of paint on there, where that stem is marked, you should be able to just mark it on. Is that coming out okay? Yes, it is. Okay. So just keep it up nice and high. So my brush is right up high. So this brush here, that is pointing at the ceiling. Okay, because if you have this sort of sideways like this, what happens is that then you don't use the tip of your brush, you use the side, and then you start marking the sugar paste, because somebody was saying earlier, weren't they, that they were not getting on very well. Well, if you put plenty of paint on and keep your brush up, then that will help. Okay, so that's okay so far. Let's bring that down. Sprinklicious cocoa butter bond. If there's the lovely as might know, if I have no idea what Sprinklicious cocoa butter is. So yeah, if anybody can help Pauline, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I can only tell you what I know and don't know anything about that one. Okay, so we're gonna just take it up like that. My hand's probably over it at the moment. I do apologise. I'll try and tip my hand a little bit more that way. There we go. Hopefully you can see it a little bit. Sorry, it's not helpful, is it? Because the camera's right over the top of me. Okay, all right, there we go. So when you do these thin bits, right, let's turn it again. When I mean thin bits, I mean these stalks. Just keep your brush with plenty of cocoa butter product loaded onto it and keep the brush up high. I'm going to try really hard to kind of do this at a weird angle for you so you can see what's going on. If I mess it up, I might have to just change direction quickly. Yeah, no, I can't do it. I'll have to just quickly do this bit and then you'll have to look at the bit at the bottom, I'm afraid. There we go. And we'll go down to the bottom because you can see this one, I'm sure. Let's have a look. Yes, you can. Let's push it up a little bit. In that way. And across there. So lots of chat about painting tonight. It's been a while since I've had a chance to talk about painting or paint something live. I'm always leaping about doing cakes and various things. Right, let's turn it again. I'm going to love this. When I show you this in full, you're going to be wowed because I'm wowed looking at it. So I'm sure you're going to be wowed by this. Can you see the different golds? Is it picking up on camera? Is anyone going to tell me? I can definitely, where I am, see the difference, but I just wonder what you can see. And actually sometimes as well, subtle differences in the colour gold can be really nice. I don't actually want them to be sort of a bright, you know what I mean, difference between them all. That would look hideous, wouldn't it? So a nice subtle difference. There we go. And we go again. And yeah, you can see a difference. Good, excellent, that's what we want to know. As I say, this is an experiment for me as much as it is for you, because I haven't done this gold, the triple gold experiment before. This was literally a case of, I need to paint something gold. I've got 3 golds here. Let's use all 3 and let's see what we get. So I think it's definitely worthwhile. Yeah, good. I'm glad you can see a difference because it is important. Now what we're going to do, oh yeah, we're back to the beginning again. Brilliant. Okay, let's turn it again. Right, back to the start. I'm just going to see if it's worth, and it may or may not be. Let's just turn this around. Has that flame gone out? Yeah, my candle's gone out. Just bear with me because I thought it was getting cold. All the paint started to get really... You'll know when you take the heat away from this, what happens is, let me just bring this over so you can see. What happens is this starts to set, and when this starts to set, the paint starts to get thicker, and then you start having more difficulty applying it. And just as I was doing that last one, I was thinking, why on earth is this becoming so stiff and difficult? And it is because the candle underneath had gone out. So I've relit that, and hopefully that'll bring it back to life a bit because it was getting a bit tricky. Right, I'm just going to switch back to paintbrush 2 and go back to the darker gold, which was called Deep Rich Gold. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see if it's worth doing, is I'm just going to apply a little bit of this coming out I'm going to have a look on camera in a minute, see if it's worth doing, because it may not be. Let's have a look and see what we get. So you can kind of bring that middle bit back a bit. Yeah, it's okay actually. It is working. Yeah. Is that working? Let's have a little look. Yeah, I think it is. So you can always just literally bring out the centre on the flowers. So that darker bit there, you can always intensify that as well if you want to just add a little bit more and just drag it out. And also pop a little bit on the big flowers underneath or just behind these petals here. You can just dab a little bit into place, because what that does, it makes it more 3D, you see, because it's going to make it stand out. So if you just tap a little bit of colour under there, that should then lift it, which it's done. Brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more around there. We've taken a little bit of colour up onto there as well. So we're only going to do this on the main flowers. We're not going to bother to do it on the little ones. It's not worth it. Okay, can you see? What do we think? Yeah, it's picked it up, hasn't it? So let's do the same here. And then we'll bring that out here. Yes, I think you're right. Whoever's just said that, Sharon. Sharon actually is the sunflower queen. She painted the most beautiful sunflower cake ever. So I didn't forget. And yeah, phenomenal. I think the sunflower, which is another patchwork cutter, would look really lovely with this. How's that going? Yeah, look how much difference that's made. It's made a huge amount of difference. But I'm not going to touch these. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what I might do. I might just put a little bit, oh yeah, let's do that, a little bit on the side of these petals. And what that'll do, that'll make those a little bit 3D as well. So we're just going to swoop a bit of this darker colour just down the sides. We're not covering these, we're just putting a little bit down at the side. Love it, that's brilliant. Happy days. Right. I sound enthusiastic, don't I? I'm happy with that. Okay. So just a little bit. What it's doing is it's picking it up, making it 3D. Oh, yes, it is. Brilliant. Look at that. I love it. There you go. Right, let's turn that again. Let's do it all again. Huge difference between the two. Gosh, this got really thick, this, when this candle went out. No, it's still lit. I'm just checking. So we're using paintbrush number 2 at the moment, and we're just basically doing a little bit of shading with the golds. Just so we've got some, would you believe it, some actual shading with gold. So gold on gold here. And we're going to go behind here, behind this petal here, and that will make it stand out. Then we're going to come up onto here. That's why I've got to tip my hand a little bit, because otherwise you can't see what's going on. A little bit lower down by that calyx. And then we're going to do the same on this one. So lower at the bottom of the calyx there, just to add your colour in there. I know, it is exciting, isn't it? It's well worth the wait, I think, on this, because I was thinking when I started, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to get time to paint all of this, but do you know what? I think actually it's worth doing the whole lot, because as I'm going through it, I'm starting to see different things that need doing that will, I think once it's done and you can see the whole thing, I think you'll be wowed, super wowed. So we'll just use that bit there, and all we're doing is just with this, just swooping a bit of colour down the side. Okay, so don't do too much. Literally just catch it. You can see what I've done there. I've not done anything too drastic. Can't remember if I did those ones up there, so I'll go up and do them. No, I haven't. Right. Apologise, these are the ones you don't get to see very well because of my hands in the way. Okay, right, another turn. So who's tempted? Who is tempted to have a go at doing this? Have a go at mixing some golds and trying to, or if not even just mixing golds, but just having a go, you know? Who's thinking now, well, actually, do you know what? This looks like something I might try, because it really isn't that difficult to do, and it's very relaxing. If you're finding yourself stressed, it's a good stress relief, this one. I mean, we've talked about this before, but if I'm not working, which is hardly ever, but anyway, if I'm not working and I've got nothing to do in the afternoon, I will paint, and that's it, because I just love it. I think it's great. So even though I'm not working, they will say, oh, you're working again. I know, but I'm painting. I want to paint because I like painting, and I find it quite relaxing. See, there you go. I missed that comment. Let me just go back a bit. Will the patchwork cutter look okay in golds? Yeah, give it a go. Why not? I will show you the finished product when it's done tonight, and then when the cake goes on it, I'll have to rely on Morella, my helpful assistant. I wonder if she's on. She hasn't said anything yet, so yeah, a few of you tempted to have a go at doing this. Think Christmas, everybody. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Nice gold board with your Christmas cake on it. Painting it with different shades of gold. I must admit, I've got to be perfectly honest here, it's actually turned out better than I thought it was going to turn out, because I didn't know what this shading was going to be like, but actually looking up at the camera, even I'm quite pleased with it. So there you go. Oh, lots of you tempted. Good. And you know what, if you can't, what I do with all my lives, for those of you that don't know already, I put them on YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes. So pop over and subscribe, because every week when I finish my Sugar and Crumbs demos, I put them on there. So they're all together, because then when people ask me, oh, I know you did this a few weeks ago and I can't find it, then I send them off to the YouTube channel. And when you get there, there's a picture of everything I've done on that particular live. So you'll be able to identify it really quickly, and then you can just crack on and do it, can't you? So there we go. Morella will cry. She probably will, actually. Knowing Morella, yeah. She might appear actually in a minute. I wonder if she's on. We'll soon find out in a minute, won't we? Yeah, this is another one to put in the bank, people. So if you watching some of these lives, sometimes you watch them and you think, oh yeah, I'd like to have a go at that, but maybe you don't need a cake for that week, or maybe you're not going to need a gold board this week. But that's why I'm saying to you, get over to that YouTube channel and subscribe, because then you'll be able to find them, and you won't then think, oh God, where is that? When did you do that? And I've also got a little Facebook page called Tracey Mann Cake Demonstrations, and everybody who's done some of my projects posts what they've done on there as well, and that's a really nice Facebook page, and you're welcome to join that as well. And that's just people posting what they've done using our cookie cutters and various things, and it looks really nice. But tonight, these are Wonder Dusts. This is the 3 golds, unless Carol's added more that I don't know about, but this is bright gold, sparkling gold, and deep rich gold. And we're painting currently with deep rich. We're just kind of clipping these. We're not covering them, please bear that in mind. So we're over painting. So the question from the lady earlier about why this and why not Rejuvenator, this is easier to do with cocoa butter, this over painting, than it is with Rejuvenator. I'm sorry if my hand's in the way at the moment. Apologies again. All right. I do live paints as well, but I won't be doing those until sort of October time, when things have calmed down a bit, and I will put some on where you can paint along with me live on Facebook. And then we kind of do little projects and stuff. They're really popular, so I will do some more. But I need about an extra week. So if anybody can find me an extra week so I can have 53 weeks of the year, I might be able to get it done in time. Okay, right. Have I made it back to the beginning? I have. So I'm going to leave that one there for the moment. Now, the plan of action was to put some little sprinkles amongst this, because I think that will act like a little bit of sort of baby's breath. Do you know what I mean? Gypsophilia, baby's breath, that's what it's called. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a little bit of royal icing. There we go. Yeah, well, I'll show you the Wonder Dust colours I've got in a minute. I'm missing the blue one, actually. Is the gold one out of stock? Oh, dear. I'm sure Carol will tell you when they're back in again. They've probably gone out of stock just this evening. I know she's probably got more coming. So what I've done here is I'm just taking some royal icing, which you can make with whipping it up if you want to, and I've just added some water to it. So I'm making it just like a big sticky paste, actually. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Oh, well, I can't remember the lady who did all the boards. Oh, dear. I should remember, shouldn't I? Once I see the name, I'll know. Yeah, do have a go at painting boards as well. The other thing I've done in the past is paint with sweet art lettering. You know, the lettering you press into the sugar paste. I've done that as well. That's quite an interesting one. Right, this is where the sprinkles are going to go all over the place, people. So I've made this quite sort of sticky. I have to say I did a wedding cake. I did this wedding cake with piping gel at the weekend, and I did it with piping gel because the sprinkles were, I wanted them to set in a single line, and the problem was if I did it with royal icing it wasn't doing that, so it was kind of looking a bit lumpy. So in the end I did it with piping gel, and the only problem with piping gel is it doesn't set properly and it really irritates me. I'm so sorry. Tell us. Carol is due dust, but only Wonder Dust in at the minute. Oh, there you go. So she's got some more coming. Well, this is one to bank, isn't it? This is one to keep an eye on. So I've just got a paintbrush here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to a little bit of royal icing here, and I'm just going to literally just put it down in a few places like so. So I'm just kind of just dabbing it on. Has to be royal icing because it's going to set. Okay, let's just do that. And then I'm going to take these sprinkles and I'm just going to kind of run them over here, and they're going to hopefully clip onto the royal icing, all being well. Oh, that'll go everywhere. They always do. Where are we? A few there. We'll knock the ones off we don't want in the way in a second. Let's just get the basic ones on first. You could do this with tweezers. It would take forever, but you could. Right, let's get another paintbrush, and then we could just move these around where we want them to sit. So there we go. Which I don't think I put much icing on there. I've been a bit mean. Let's put a little bit more on. A nice little cluster there. Over you go. That's it, because I don't really want them on top of the lovely painting that we've been doing. I want them nearby. So anything else that's not there, you can go. I'm going to put a bit more icing on. Being a bit cautious there. There we go. That's better. So you could sit and fiddle with this. There you go. Let's have a look at that. See how we're doing. Yes. We'll tidy it up now. Right. I'm going to put some more icing on because I haven't done enough. Been a bit too cool. I've gone too much. Gone wild now. There we go. So I want them to stick. Oh, that's better. There we go. But I don't want them in our painting. I want them away from the painting, so you can go away. There you go. Can you see that? Oh, you can make royal icing up. Right, royal icing will last a good 3 weeks. Okay, if you make it up, if you leave it in a plastic container out of the fridge with the lid on it. Okay, don't put it in the fridge. Number one. Make up half a bag, make up quarter of a bag, doesn't matter. I've always got royal icing on the go because I'm a professional cake decorator, haha, and I'm constantly doing wedding cakes at the moment, so I've got royal icing on the go all the time. So, but yeah, you can easily make up a batch of royal icing and just leave it. There we go. getting these where I want them to be now. I'm going to be a bit more specific on the next one. I thought if I got away with it and just threw them everywhere it'd work, but it hasn't. But now they're on, now they're in the right places. They're looking a bit better, so I'm just going to have to take this a little bit slower. I just had visions they might just run where I want them to, but they're not. They're going everywhere but where I want them to be. So, and once these are all set, see, I shall leave this all to dry overnight, and then we'll pop the cake on tomorrow. Let's hope it's a wowie cake at the end of it, won't we? Let's hope the florist does some nice flowers to go on it. There we go. Okay. Right, so you can see what I've done there. It just adds, it just makes it look a little bit prettier. You see, just by adding in those few, let's hold it up a little bit so you can see it. Can you see? Meg Wright, that's the name. Donna's got it. Meg Wright, she's the one who's moved house, I'm sure. Her boards, every time she did a board, was unbelievable. Amazing. I don't know if she's watching, but yeah, her cake board's phenomenal. Right, I'm adding a bit more icing this time because I don't think I was generous enough last time. So I'll add a bit more. There we go. Right, okay. I'm not going to let these run everywhere this time. Oh, I probably will. I'm sort of half looking at the screen and half not, so I'm sure that Nikki or Maureen or Donna or one of the other cakey experts on here will assist if I've missed something. All very helpful on here, thank goodness. What am I doing for time? Oh, I've been on a while tonight, haven't I? I've got to get this done, so that's for an order. I've taken to doing my orders live. No pressure. There we go. All right, let's go around the corner. You can see that still. So your choice then. The other thing you can do, I don't know if any of you know this or not, but you can get these little tiny white sprinkles and you can put them in a bag with some of the dust, and if you whiz them round they'll change colour, and they'll change colour to the dust that you've put in the bag. So that works quite successfully if you're trying to sort of blend things together, you know, if you're trying to match something. That works quite well. I decided I didn't want to do that tonight because I just wanted these to be a little bit sort of like the baby's breath, you know, a little bit of contrast, because don't forget we've got a lot of gold on here tonight, and I thought that might be overkill. But if anybody wants to sort of dye sprinkles, that's the way to do it. Do you need to add glycerin to whipping it up? You only need to put glycerin in whipping it up, or any royal icing, as if you want it to remain soft when you cut it. And that's if you put the royal icing all over the cake, okay? So if you've only piped a bit here and there, I wouldn't bother. Personally, I wouldn't bother. It's only if you do a whole snow scene, you know, like you're covering your whole Christmas cake in it, then you might definitely need to, because otherwise it does get a bit tough. Crack a few teeth. There we go. Right, let's turn it again. Right, 2 to go. You can hear the odd sprinkle moving. Just wondering actually, you know what, how I'm going to pick this up and show you, but I'll try, because I think the sprinkles might start falling off. Right, so I'm just dabbing a bit of royal icing around it. Let's put some of these on again. I'm getting the hang of this now. Well, not the hang of it, I'm just being a bit more careful. She says, I should never say these things until I've actually done it, should I? Yeah. There's several ways you can make royal icing. Sharon, who's just said that? Nikki, yeah, there's several ways you can make it with whipping it up, clearly, which is a Sugar and Crumbs product. Or you can make it with Merry White. Or you can make it with another product called albumin powder. Or you actually can make it with raw egg if you particularly want to. Any of those. It's fine. Oop, you run away from me. Yeah, I think Morella might cry. I don't think she's on actually. I bet she's forgotten. Or if she is watching, she's being very quiet. Oh, so you might suddenly appear. Morella, this is your cake. Or this is your cake board anyway. Okay. She'd have been jumping off the ceiling, I think, by now. That's probably why I didn't get her in, you know. Too distracting. I wouldn't have been able to cope with Morella jumping up and down next to me. Right, okay, one more bit there I've just missed. Okay, we're on the last corner and then we're done. And then you can have a little look. I'll give it a second to dry before I pick it up. Otherwise, literally, it'll all just fall apart. There we go. You can do loads of things with royal icing. You can. I always call it concrete glue. So when we talk about glues, or I talk about glues in Cake World, we always talk about sugar glue, which is something you can buy or something you can make. I often refer that as to like equivalent sort of strength as like Pritt stick, you know. It's one of these sort of things that will stick things in place, but it won't kind of hold everything completely if it's a heavy item like a rose or something like that. And I always think royal icing is the concrete. Royal icing is the stuff that sticks down anything. So it's your super glue. It's your equivalent of your super glue. So even if you never pipe with it, learn how to make it, because it's a really important one to do, because it will help you. Gosh, I need to put my hands in the royal icing then. Yeah, learn how to make it. Get some whipping it up and whatever that is, and just add your water and you've got it. It's really easy. It's not difficult. But if you want to stick things to cakes, then it's ideal. Right, we're coming up to the end. Zippity-doo-dah. I'm pleased about that. Okay, right. You're looking forward to seeing the cake. So am I. Gosh, I hope it fits. Otherwise, you might not see the cake. Right, what we could do is you can take hold of a smedger and you can just, because this icing is still soft, this sugar paste, I can just go round and I could actually press, if I'm very gentle, some of these sprinkles down so they don't fall out. That's a good plan. I like this plan, because don't forget they're a little bit raised, and so by pushing them down I'm going to be able to pick my board up and show you. So you have to be careful obviously, but that's not a bad plan. I'm going to just do that on all corners, and then I've definitely got much more. So just take your smedger and just press. You do need to be careful you're not now squashing absolutely everything you've done, but you'll feel them. They're a little bit higher than everything else. So just press them in. Oh, look at this, brilliant. Brilliant idea. God, I need to be a cake maker, don't I? All these amazing ideas. Right, press. You can feel them sinking in actually as you press down quite quickly. There's no hanging around with this. Because the sugar paste is still soft. This is only going to work if your sugar paste is still soft. If your sugar paste is set and you're painting it, say, the day after, this little bit, this tip won't work. Your sugar paste has got to be soft. Okay, last one. Oh my God, I'm quite pleased I did that because I was dreading picking this up. Right, press this down. Just be careful as well, you're not catching the gold and spreading that all over the place. Right, okay, we're done. That is it. I've got to show you this, haven't I? Let's work out how we're going to do that. I think I might have to literally fill the screen with it because it's a huge board. I'm just putting the sprinkles out of the way because, to be perfectly honest, if it's got anything to do with me, we'll end up all over the place. So I'm just going to, let me just get rid of this. Right, let's blow that out because otherwise I will forget. Right, let's see if we can pick this board up. Are we ready? It's like a grand da 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 da. There might be a few sprinkles fall off, but I can live with that. You might hear a few go. Ooh. Right, am I going to fill the whole screen, I think? Hold on. Where are we? Okay, which way are we going? That way. Right, I can't actually see me. There we go. How about that? So I'm just going to hold that like that for a second. There we go. I will take a picture of it, hopefully, so you can see it a little bit better. I'm still here. I am behind this. I'm just going to put this down for a second because I don't want to actually end up crushing all the sugar paste that's around it. Otherwise, that's not going to be very helpful, is it? Drum roll, please. I'm going to put my hand underneath it, actually. Let's see if I can catch it. There we go. How about that? If I bring it back. No, that way. There we go. How about that? Da, 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 da. So that's all ready for that cake. All right. Just going to leave it there for a second so you can have a good look at it. Oh, let's put it down. So that's all ready for the cake. I'm going to leave it in here overnight so that it's got a chance to the board to harden up, and it's got a chance for everything we've done to embed into the cake board itself. I will take a photograph of this board actually before I put the cake on it so you can see it, and I will put it on Sugar and Crumbs cake community board. I'll put it on my Instagram as well, because once the cake goes on it, obviously you're going to have to look over the top of it to actually see all the pattern, and without it at the moment it looks really spectacular without the cake. So we don't really need the cake, do we, Morella? You don't need the cake, we just have it as it is, just a lovely board. You just have the board, Morella, don't worry about the cake. Anyway, so that is it for me this evening. I'll give you my website address. I'm going to put that up while I'm still chattering away. So the cake is a 12-inch square, so it's a huge cake, hence why the board is a 16-inch square. So the cake is 12 inches, the board is 16 inches, so it's 4 inches bigger to give me enough space to be able to do all of this work around it. Please don't do this on a 12-inch, on a 14-inch board, because you will not be able to fit it all in, okay? So you do need to make sure that you've got a big enough board to do this, all right? So I will put this up on Instagram. There's my Instagram address if you want to have a look on that. I will also post it onto YouTube as soon as I get my computer working. She smiled through that one. I am not going to be here on Thursday at 11:30 like I normally am, because as I say, it's wedding season and I'm very, very busy at the moment. I will be live on Saturday, I think. Yes, I will be live on Saturday for a little while for people that watch me on Saturday mornings. Other than that, I will be back on Tuesday at 6:30 for some more entertainment. I've got 3 weddings next week, so I'm sure as long as my computer's working, it will be fine. If anybody's interested in the ice cream novelty cake class, don't forget you have to go to a different website to look at that one, and that is tracymanncakeschool.co.uk, but there will be a couple of days delay getting it out. It was programmed was going to come out on the 5th. It probably will now be a couple of days later, purely because of the slight problems with my computer today, but I will get it sorted and we will end up with a lovely project which I'm sure you'll enjoy. Thank you, Nikki, for your help. Nikki's my online PA, unofficial PA assistant, but very good. Thank you very much for joining me. You're all a lovely lot. I do look forward to coming on here. I've missed it this week, actually. I've been stuck in my kitchen and I've missed my lives. I know it's hard to believe, but I have missed my lives. So anyway, have a good week and I will see you all again next Tuesday. Take care. See you soon.